Welcome to the podcast. We're here fat shaming Jonah Hill. Here's the problem. If you're going to do a fart mic, and plenty of shows do it, you actually have to fart into the mic for it to catch.
I'm not wearing underwear.
Okay, maybe if there was only a smell of it.
And my pants are white.
Yeah. You also had like a greasy bag of burger stuff on your pants. I was like,
what?
That might have been... No, not right. Look, you got lucky. But generally that would
in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're fat shaming Jonah Hill. And honestly, we're not even fat shaming him anymore. We're just shaming everything about his identity.
Wait, before we do anything, I got to say hello to my mulatto brother. That the only fucking guy that listens to this fucking podcast. We love you.
I gotta tell you.
Shout out Bushwick, Brooklyn.
We love your feedback.
Where Brooklyn at?
Yeah.
Shout out Brooklyn.
I think.
Shout out New York City Health.
You got a great sense of humor.
Shout out. Whatever you did during coronavirus.
Thanks to our viewer, we've had the opportunity to just go after Jonah Hill. Now, Jonah Hill deleted his Instagram account because of an anxiety attack in 2022, which, I mean, how does that, like, you're a celebrity. You shouldn't be allowed by your agents to get rid of it. It seems like an important part of your career. I don't know. I think probably the reason his agents let him do that is because it was so bad and so douchey. They're like, okay, this is like not a big loss. This might actually help us.
The most fucked up part about it is that Jonah Hill he kind of looks like Kevin from when we were kids.
Yes. Oh, he
like
totally
if
looks
Kevin
like Kevin.
Actually, like if Kevin got rich and became cool.
Yeah.
But he looks like he sells like really good cocaine. And he's like friends with a bunch of musicians and stuff like that. But the fucked up part about it is that he's a fucking loser piece of shit. But he looks cool.
He's been in great movies. He's also been in terrible movies.
No, but he cries about being fat shamed and wipes his eyes with $100 bills. When unlike everyone else, because I'll fat shame anyone, but like some people, they just can't afford good food.
Yeah.
He can afford to have a private chef.
Yeah.
Cook for him at his house and then have a sober companion, but for food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have those people. They just swat.
If he really wanted it, he could, but he loves to loathe himself.
Yeah.
You're rich, Jonah. Be rich. Stop dyeing your hair blonde and making skateboarding movies.
Yeah. Skateboarding.
I made this up after he made mid-90s. I made this up because it never actually happened. I made up, but I thought that it did. I made up that somebody went up to him and like handed him a skateboard. Yeah. And was like, do a trick. And he made up some bullshit excuse that he couldn't. But that's really, great. He can't because he went to fucking Kent. Or where did he go? What's that school next to Brentwood Country Mart?
Brentwood Country Mart? I don't know.
He went to the Brentwood school. Yeah, he went to Crossroads.
Well, there's also the Brentwood.
Now he dresses like he's loped out from Hermosa Beach. His dad's in jail because he was a Hell's Angel and his mom smokes meth. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
I know people that actually dress like this and they're cool. That's why it's mind fucking me.
We see two different things.
People that dress like this don't care about being called fat. I'm just going to say that.
Well, generally, he does because this is, as we've talked about before, this is an avatar for him. This is a look he picked off of Create a Skater, right? Like, he just put all these elements together because he saw someone else do it. He's not even unique in that he, like, took some of it and, like, made it his own. No, he just full-on, like, downloaded this from someone else, yet his personality is still that one of a pussy,
He said, "How can I look like my grandmother? I'm white trash. My grandmother bought a house in Topanga in 1930, and now I sell blow and live at home with her and surf."
There's a white girl that looks 14, and it seems like it's his girlfriend.
That was his ex-girlfriend that he broke up with, who was a professional surfer because he was uncomfortable with her wearing bikini bottoms, and surfing with all these beautiful men,
Yeah,
because he's a fat fucking slob. He's still. Remember that one guy that went to Marquez? I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah, give me a hint.
I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah, I can't see it yet.
This guy?
Yes, I do.
He is exactly like this guy. That guy wants to become a rapper. He went to the NYU business school, and he wants to become a rapper because he's still trying to be cool. Jonah Hill has $100 million, and he's still trying to be cool because everyone thinks he's a fat fag. Excuse me.
No, it's okay. We're not even gonna cut those out anymore.
Sorry.
Yeah. You know, YouTube, you can take us fucking off the
YouTube
algorithm. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We're gonna, as long as you don't get us taken down or blow up our spot.
If you take us down, that's a crime against black people because my mulatto friend enjoys this show.
Yes, you are robbing.
Yeah, you're robbing the black community of joy. You're robbing black people of joy.
Yeah.
Haven't they had enough?
So speaking of that, have you ever heard of the movie called it's the one about him, Jonah Hill, dating a black woman and the conflict?
Yeah, I watched that whole movie.
So you like White Lotus, and I hate White Lotus and all the things like it. No, I don't hate White Lotus, but I hate cringe, purposeful movies. I don't think that's funny. It's not interesting to watch. There's enough of that in real life. But this one that Jonah Hill made was incredibly self-serving. Because it seems like it did kind of well, but it didn't do well. It was purely something to suggest the possibility that Jonah Hill can play basketball with other adults his age.
That he can play.
It's really
that he can play.
It's quick cuts because he has to take a big breathing breaks, get his doctor, give him insulin, and wipe off his titties, ice up his titties.
And I like how he dresses like a Huntington Beach. Like neo-Nazi surfer dude.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to be in a movie about black people with a black lady. But that girl, dude, Lauren London. Well, and first of all, I have a crush on her.
It doesn't seem like... that's okay.
Second of all, Nipsey Hussle, that's Nipsey Hussle's ex-wife. And the rapper that...
Okay.
He's not urban enough to understand
Nipsey Hussle sounds like a girl's name, but, roast me
don't
in the
disrespect the dead. I have no affiliation with this man.
Nipsey Hussle seems like the doctor who would ice down Jonah Hill's tits.
Neighborhood Crips, this guy lives in, I do not condone this, neighborhood Crips. Although I am well armed if you want a problem. I don't know. And I'm a jiu-jitsu practitioner. So God forbid you come close to me.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? But in that movie, they didn't even kiss.
No,
they didn't
seem
kiss.
loving at all. And also, he's not attracted to women like that. He's attracted to literally the opposite of women like that. Little white blonde girls who are smaller than him and very skinny.
I keep farting.
It's weird because I had the burrito and you had the burger. I haven't smelled it yet. Weirdly, your apartment smells very nice every time I come.
It does.
Yeah, I don't know. What do? You use a scented candle or some shit?
No.
Well, that reminds me.
It's just me. That's fair.
I just heard that one. That one was. Yeah,
you smell that one?
Yeah. Nah, it still smells too nice in here. You got an herbal shit going on.
Are you bullshitting?
I
won't be offended.
I'm not bullshitting.
Because that's surprising.
When I do smell it, I will call it out.
Good.
Okay, Jonah Hill. We can get back to him. Have you seen the movie?
Leave you alone.
Have you seen the movie Heretic? It's like a big movie now, and it's a movie. It's not a TV show. Do not hit me because I'm not recommending a TV show to you.
No, I've not seen Heretic.
I think you might like it, and it's the scented candle. That's a big part of the movie. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to spoil it if neither of us have seen it, or if you haven't seen it and I have. But it's a great movie with Hugh Grant.
I love Hugh Grant.
Oh my God, then you love this movie.
I can't watch horror movies.
That's the thing. So they
scare me.
I got the classic thing of they said, "Oh, it's not really a horror movie," because I don't like horror movies at all either. But if you watch it with somebody, it's not quite up to the standard of what I think a horror movie is.
I can't. Last time I watched a horror movie with somebody was the first time I've ever watched a horror movie.
And, what was it? Insidious?
No. It was it was Barbarian. That movie Barbarian.
No, I haven't seen that.
And I was so obnoxious and terrified the whole time that
I love being
people
obnoxious.
then offered me money to watch another horror movie with them. Because I was more entertaining than the movie.
That is an experience. I never got money, so you're of a different caliber, but that is an experience I've had too. They didn't really, they were like, I actually want to enjoy this horror movie. I actually like being scared. But that is funny.
Right, because were you making fun of it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was deathly terrified. It was in rehab. It was in rehab, and I let out a scream at the first jump scare, and the dude that worked there came running in like there was something wrong, and they're like, no, he's
That's
just
beautiful.
screaming like a bitch, and then she walked past. Like a knife on the kitchen counter when and I was like, grab the fucking knife, bitch! grab that fucking knife. And then like when she would go down the stairs, I'd be like, don't go there. Run, bitch. Run, get the fucking. Like they said that I was like a large black woman at the movie theaters. Like the whole time, like screaming.
See, me, I pretend like it's not scary, and I just comment on it, like just telling people do not go down there, and talking about.
You're just trying to play fake tough guy.
I mean, the last movie I watched that did this was there was a Evil Dead Rise, and that one is like a horror movie because it's just so gory. And there's a character who actually, I don't know if the actor is trans or not, but I was just talking about how they were trans the whole time, and people were kind of taken away.
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh, because it was kind of a Christian like horror movie. I'm like, see, she's gonna get it first. I mean, sorry. Fucking yeah, that is a fun thing to do, but if you're really not into it,
I can't tough guy it. Like I would get kicked out of a movie theater if I went. No, I'm deadly serious.
You gotta go to
like I would be so bad that black women would be like, this guy's too loud.
This guy's a little
like
much.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or they'd be like, this can't be you, sir.
Yeah,
you big white man. This can't be. I'd be like, yeah, this is me, dude. This is me.
Oh my god.
I wish maybe I should get like a fucking hood rat black girlfriend, like one with big tits, you know what I mean? Like when she talks, they bounce so we could compliment each other.
Yeah.
We could go to horror movies together and just both agree that the bitch should pick up the fucking knife.
Yeah.
And don't go down there, bitch. You're gonna die.
Well, also how hilarious it would be to have like your girlfriend right there and she's saying it as if she's not scared, and then you are terrified. The way I don't know. Eventually, other people then our one viewer will watch this. And you won't be able to quite understand what Rob Dickers looks like, but he looks the opposite of a guy who would be scared, shitting himself in theater.
And then I would get up and be like, I'm a fucking Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. I'm a Kimura everybody in here.
You're really getting into Jiu-Jitsu.
I'm a killer.
I love that. I mean, it's kind of you've been.
I've had a complete personality change. Like I've been. Okay. Now I daydream about moving to Brazil. I stopped reading books. I stopped reading books.
This might be good for you.
I only eat acai bowls. I stopped reading books. I'm thinking about moving to Brazil.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about learning Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? The women are already my speed,
Yeah, exactly. I was like, why would you move to Brazil? Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like a no-brainer for me right now.
Yeah. I mean, literally the capital of butt lifts and, all different types of butt things.
Just all butts.
Yeah.
The whole country is just butts, good music, acai bowls, and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's like, what more do you need?
Yeah. Well, the Amazon, it'll be scary.
You just stay close to the ocean.
Yeah,
the snakes don't come to the ocean. Right? That's a big thing for me. I'm deathly afraid of snakes.
Yeah.
Deathly afraid. I will watch a David Attenborough documentary, right?
Yeah.
As a grown man.
Yeah.
And I will lift my feet off the floor and put them on the couch and peer under the couch every so often. And then if I go take a pee, I lift the toilet seat up really fast. Look for the thing. I won't take a shit for like at least 2 days. No, I'm not fucking with you. I will check every nook and cranny, dude. I will grab my gun and sit on it and point it at the TV and be like, you're not going to fucking get me.
Of all the animals you could use to defend yourself with a gun, that's probably the worst.
I mean, I don't know. What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know what to do.
I don't know.
Okay, so I think we talked a little bit about this, but you explained that you wanted to do jiu-jitsu because you felt vulnerable on airplanes because that's the only place you can't take your gun or knife. And you're like, I need to be a killing machine wherever I am, and I need to be able to threaten people and things. Whenever there's any challenge of my opinion, my strength, if you have any criticism for me, I will have to mention that I have guns within the proximity, or that I can choke you out to oblivion.
Right.
Yeah. And so I was like thinking about how that would even happen, like. Okay, there's a terrorist on the plane, or no,
because we gotta start when we're going through security.
Why would you need to?
I walk into the airport and I'm on point, dude.
Yeah.
I'm looking for. I walk past the Emirates lounge thing.
Yeah.
I'm fucking staring in there, dude. I'm not fucking with you. I'm staring.
I'm profiling everybody at that Emirates Lounge.
I am. And I don't really give a damn.
Anybody wearing anything remotely ethnic, I'm
Right.
going to visually pat you down.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to do a security check, pre-security check.
I'm just gonna mark you like on a Call of Duty map when you put the marker down. I just mark you, dude.
Yeah.
And then even when you're behind me, I know where you are. You know what I mean? And so like you go through security, and because this is the time when the guys might make their move because they're gonna get stopped. You know what I mean? Somebody's like, "Oh, sir, you have a gun in your bag." That is a deterrent because he has his vest, and then he blows himself up.
Okay,
right?
Wait. I
So
want to
with
hear
this guy,
I want to hear how Jiu-Jitsu stops the suicide. Like,
agility.
That's the worst.
No,
thing
you're
you
not
can
stopping
do.
it. You're getting out of the way. Agility. Or you can equally use somebody as a shield.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
That's
mean?
good. Manipulation of the human body.
Exactly.
Got it.
Because and so when I see a dude that is stopped even a little bit, or he's in the machine, he's looking a little. I start taking a couple steps back.
Yeah.
Trying to find my exit point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Finding the fat people behind me that I can jump behind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then when I get through there, the gate's all cool. They're not going to do it at the gate. If they make it through security, they're going to do it on the plane.
Yeah.
There's
Why
no
would you do it at the gate?
Yeah, there's no
Why'd
point.
you blow your load that early?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So then when we get on the plane, and because I always cut the line, you know what I mean? I always when they're like boarding group 7, I always go with boarding group 2.
You never get stopped?
No.
One ever, because they're checking your
I
ticket.
walk up like I know what's going on.
That's hilarious.
I just hand it to him, just like, how's it going?
Really
Good?
funny.
Yeah, you're good.
I worked so hard to get the first boarding group. I get early. I just
fuck that. Who cares? You know what I mean? You just walk up, and then a couple times when I was super hungover, I would get nervous, right? So I'd be like, I'd be on the phone and I'd be like, okay, if they question, if they're like, oh, this isn't it, because 7 kind of looks like 2, I'm gonna be, oh, I forgot my glasses. I apologize. They already scanned me. They're just gonna wave me through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing goes with carry-on bags. You know, they have that little thing where you have to measure it. You know, and some like little ladies, she's like, sir, you have to measure the bag. And I'm like, it's not gonna fit in the thing. She goes, no, then try to check it. And I go, okay. And then I just walk by. She goes, sir. I go, you can call the cops. I'm fucking going. I gotta, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's good.
Because, dude, I have called TSA agents pieces of shit. I said, I hope you jump off a building and die.
Would you do that now that you're sober, though? 'Cause
Yes.
That's like a drunk thing to do.
No, I was never drunk.
Yeah.
I never fly drunk.
Yeah.
I make it on the airplane and then get drunk.
Do you fly with any kind of drugs in your system, like weed or whatever?
Absolutely not weed, dude. I would freak out.
You're kidding.
Dude, be trapped in a metal tube, dude, because I start rationalizing what is going on.
Yeah.
I go, I'm in a thinly layered metal tube, 35,000 feet in the air, going 500 miles an hour.
Dude, I would always fly high.
That's
that was
insane.
the only way I'd ever fly. If I was really into Xanax, I would have done that too. But that actually would have made me like a sloppy. I did get kicked off a plane, or not kicked off. I got met by the police.
Why?
I never told you this story?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll just go through it quick. So I was really, really high. I had bought these pills of hemp oil, or hash oil. And I took too many. And I had this vape that was just a monster. And generally, you're supposed to vape in the cabin and just be discreet about it. I didn't think that was safe. I thought I needed to go in the bathroom to do it. And I was too high to know.
A nicotine vape.
A nicotine vape. Yeah, exactly. So I'm producing a lot of smoke. Like this thing was
it was like
monster.
the modded one.
It wasn't one, but it was basically that, but really high strength, potent, you know? And so that was also affecting me. And I go in there and I start vaping. Dude, it starts beeping.
Ugh.
The smoke
bathroom thing?
I have filled this bathroom unconsciously with a cloud of strawberry. I swear to God, it was so stupid looking back, but it didn't even cross my mind when it was happening. And I get out and beeping, and as soon as I walk out the door, people are freaking out. And I think I could get away with it. I think I could walk out of there and just be like, that's weird. It's like malfunctioning. I walk out, it's like Cheech and Chong. It's just like a huge rush of fucking vape smoke coming after me. And the gay flight attendant, he's like, did you smoke in there? And I said, no. And he's like, and I was walking away. He's like, did you vape in there? And I was like, no. And so I get to and he goes, ugh. And he gets on the phone. And I go back to my seat. Everybody is staring at me because they know I'm the guy. No, in the air. It was the shortest flight I ever have taken, which was the flight, within the state. I think they know we're in LA, so it was
San Francisco.
It was from Sacramento to LA, so really, really close.
Wait 45 minutes?
It's literally an hour or 45 minutes. And I couldn't wait, and I wasn't thinking. And so I set off the smoke alarm, and I'm sitting there, and it doesn't stop beeping. That's the thing. So everybody is scared. And they're all really pissed at me. And also, I'm sitting in the very front of the plane because I do the work to be the first boarding group.
Oh, because you fly Southwest.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And basically, we land. Captain says, everybody stay in your seats. And then 2 LAPD officers come and get me. And I'm wearing a neck pillow. I got like flip slides and socks on. I look like an idiot. I look like a total douchebag.
Jesus.
And they walk me off. And they're questioning me. And they're like, what the fuck happened in there? And I just was telling them, like, I had a lapse in judgment. I was vaping. I don't know. I was honest with them. You know me. I'm a fucking,
and they didn't pop you?
So they're like really going after me, and all the people are coming out of the gate and like looking so pissed at me for scaring them. And they said what don't you like? I can't remember how they asked, but they're like, don't you think you should have to like face consequences for it? And I said, dude, I feel like I have fully faced the consequences seeing 70 people show pure hatred with their eyes, while I'm wearing a neck pillow.
That's a fucking great argument.
I'm wearing slides. Argument. And they both look at each other, and they already took my ID, and they're like, yeah, you're right. And so they had taken a picture of my ID, and they're like, look, we're going to let you off on this one because you're white. No, they didn't say that part. Right. But so they let me off, but they say, you need to come to the window with us right now. And so they take me to the window, and there's these like 2 black vans sitting next to the gate, and they said, so the smoke alarm does not come to the LAPD. It goes to the central FBI Pentagon.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the LA field office. And then if you're lucky and they know it's not a threat, they call LAPD. And because that gay flight attendant called ahead, they had us come on instead of the FBI just take you off, put you in the van, and question you.
Jesus.
It's like I never vape in the bathroom, and I barely ever vape in the cabin. I bring nicotine gum on every flight I go on now that I'm sober, and even before that. Even when I was getting so fucked up.
Dumb as fuck.
It's the dumbest thing. One of the dumbest things I've ever done. I've done dumber things, and they have had more important legal consequences. But yeah. That one was pretty bad.
That's insane.
I can't believe I never told you this one. This is one of my...
I don't give a fuck about anything, but even I know that you don't fuck around on airplanes.
This is always the case with you and me. I am like so polite and courteous on all these things that you are like, that's stupid. And then the one thing that I finally take a liberty on, you're like,
I'm a reasonable guy.
Retarded.
Telling a TSA agent that you hope they fall off a bridge is not a felony.
That sounds worse to me than getting
but it's not a felony. It's not a felony. They literally tell you, this is a felony, don't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
They literally say that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I don't have a felony because I've gotten background checks for jobs and none of them show up with that. I am lucky as hell, dude. And obviously, some people are going to hate that, but, it was insane. It was not a good idea.
Dude, I've drank 16 beers on a plane and not done something that stupid. I've drank so many beers that they look at me annoyed. I drank so many beers one time that they said we ran out of beers. Yeah, and I said, can you double check? And they actually did.
They actually ran out?
Yeah, because I had 16. And then other people were having some.
Yeah.
They literally ran out.
Why wouldn't you just go for the hard liquor? That was my thing. It's like,
because I thought it was fun. Just crushing cans. Dude.
All right, TV show Wreck Time. Have you seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No, I don't give a fuck about Wade Boggs.
Yeah. Oh, so you know what I'm talking
about. I know the
about.
Wade Boggs story, and I know that they did that.
Yeah.
I do have Instagram shorts. YouTube shorts.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll tell you pretty much.
But dude, drinking on planes is awesome. You have 2 double whiskey cokes, and you're like, I don't give a fuck if this bitch goes down. You know what I mean? That's what I start thinking.
That's what
I fucking sit down in my seat, dude. I go, yeah, dude. Give me another one, dude. And then I watch, like, I love flying back from Europe and drinking aggressively. And usually I'm like not in the back of the plane. So, like, people can see my screen behind me, and I just watch shit like American Sniper or Zero Dark 30, drinking double whiskey cokes, and I just look behind me, just nodding, going, you know where we're going.
Have you seen this?
You know where we're going, buddy. You know what I mean? I'm fucking so tired of hearing you goddamn fucks tell us how much assholes we are. Have fun in fucking immigration, dude. See, I'm going home.
For me, that's a good point. For me, I don't have a problem because when I drink on planes, I get sick every time because the whatever pressure or whatever.
It's sad.
I know, it is sad. I wish I could drink more on planes. I wish I could have drank more.
You're a fake Anglo-Saxon.
But my thing, I'm just secretly a Jamaican. My thing is I like to get so high that I can't possibly get bored because either I'm having the time of my life or I'm just freaking out. I'm thinking about everything I should not be thinking about.
Yeah, I can't do that.
That's where my entertainment
If I got stoned on an airplane, I'd either try to open the door to get out, because I'd be like, this isn't real.
Yeah. Or simulation.
Or I'd start using my skills as a jiu-jitsu practitioner to take down the guy that I have suspicions about. You know, preemptively. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to wait for you to go to the bathroom and light that bomb.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait for you to pull out your fucking box cutter.
Yeah.
I'm already there, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I get on the plane, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I get on the plane, and I always cut the line. You know?
And you tell the people to fuck themselves.
No, I don't tell. I just walk up like I know what. Dude, I'm telling you.
If they try to stop you.
They've never tried. Because they've never tried. Dude, and then even on some planes, they're like, oh, you can only bring one carry-on and then a personal item.
Yeah.
I'll bring 2 carry-ons and hide it.
Yeah.
And I'll like fake. And I think that they're like, oh, this guy's putting in a little effort.
Yeah.
To like, because I'll carry them in one hand and then put it so like one is behind the other.
Yeah.
And walk very awkwardly with one leg because it's really heavy on one side.
Yeah.
And they don't say shit because I just walk up like I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? If you do that at airports, nobody will ever stop. They don't get paid enough. They don't care. You know what I mean? You just walk like you know what you're... Dude, you don't know until you... What's the worst that can happen? They're like, you can't do that? I'm like, all right.
You have to check the bag, I guess?
Check the bag at the gate. I'll check the bag at the gate.
Yeah.
Then I don't pay.
Yeah.
I'll check the bag at the gate. I don't care. I'm just not paying. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm not paying $35. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's weird that you don't have to pay if you make it very...
Because they only care if you care... They don't care if you care to cheat. What? If you care to cheat, they don't care because they're cheating you, and a cheater respects a cheater. You know what I'm saying?
See, my thing is like, I think the times I've seen people have to check bags, usually they have to pay like to even make sure that it gets to the destination. Like they'll have to like sign something and put down a credit card or like say that you're
at the gate.
Card. Yeah, at the gate.
No, okay. Well then those people are fucking nerds.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
You know
you have a different experience in this world.
I just walk, dude. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, oh, dude, come on. Like, you know, what I mean? Like, right, we're trying to get on the plane.
Dude, would you bring one that's just like the fucking like almost like 3/4 as tall as you? Like that,
dude. The big North Face waterproof duffel bag stuffed to the brim.
Yeah.
So I can barely close it.
Yeah.
It's about as big as my wingspan holding it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this.
Well, vertical, it's longer.
Vertical, it's like this long.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking about like 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
It barely fits in the overhead. I have to shove it in the overhead and then punch it in.
Yeah.
And every time the flight attendant looks at me. But good thing a lot of them are gay, so they're cool. They're cool with it. They're like, oh, watch his ass jiggle when he punches you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Like, you got to use yourself like a woman in this world sometimes. You know?
No, you're good at that.
Why not?
You're really good at that.
Why not?
Yeah,
you know?
It's just weird because like women who use their bodies to get through the world, they have to be like super friendly, and you have to do the opposite. You have to be very angry and obstinate. I only get mad at them sometimes. You know what I mean? But like, I'm just talking in general.
Like just one time, like standoffish. Yeah, because gay guys like that because they're like, oh, he doesn't know. They think that I don't know.
Yeah. They
think that I'm having mixed feelings. You know what I mean?
Oh, they think you're confused.
That's why they think, if you act standoffish, then they're like, oh, what is going on? Or they think, oh, maybe he's like super masculine, but like quarterback fucks the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that one guy that we know that lived on the street just next to yours, and we'd always play basketball at his house.
Yeah.
From high school.
Yeah.
You know that guy?
I mean, I feel like he was
GG?
full on. Yeah. Okay, of course.
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about. I mean, that one, in terms of descriptions, that was a quick one. I can get that one pretty quick.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the time, okay, so like one time I was in TSA and this guy was like, oh, you got to go down to that line. You know what I mean? So I walked all the way around the goddamn thing because I didn't have pre-check. And then I handed the lady my ticket. She's like, oh, no, this is pre-check. You got to go back over there.
Jeez.
And I was like, what the fuck? I said that to her. You know what I mean? And she's like, I don't know what you want me to do. I was like, fair enough. Not your fault.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get mad at you for no reason. I walked back to the guy and I said, why the fuck did you have me walk all the way over there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do your fucking job. It's easy. You stand here and tell people this way or that way and look at it. Are you fucking stupid? That's why I told the guy. Then walked on. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? What are they going to do?
They give people, they like...
But I'm sober. They can't say that I'm unruly because I didn't yell at you. I just said, what the fuck is your problem?
No, but they subdue people and like all this shit, and they like pull them in other rooms for such small shit for just like back talking about taking their shoes off.
Dude, I travel like a well-traveled person. They're like, this guy does this a lot. You know what? My bad.
It's because they are worried that they will need 6 guys
Maybe.
to get you, and the problem is they don't have enough people. They are not that well staffed.
Yeah. Or there's like one lady who's like my bag was too heavy. Like when I did check a bag because I was coming back from college one time, so I had to check bags.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, this bag is too heavy. So I started throwing my stuff in a trash can in the fucking terminal because I was like, I gotta go. Well, because I didn't know where to put the stuff, like from the bag. So I started throwing it in the trash can. And I was like, you're a fucking bitch, you know that? But it was in New York,
What did she do?
Nothing. She was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck you. How about that? You know what I mean? I was like, what are you going to do?
That's hilarious.
I was like, I don't even like LA. I'll stay in New York. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'd rather be here.
Exactly.
Jonah Hill is 3,000 miles away.
Yeah. So then so then you get on the plane. So I'm obviously one of the first because I have to be one of the first because because my bag is so big that I need the overhead space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need it more than you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take it.
So I'm gonna take it.
Right?
If you can't get there in time, tough titties.
Tough titties, dude. And I always put it like in the front of the plane. Like not where my seat is. So I can like get up and walk all the way to the front of the plane and then just pick it up.
Unbelievable.
You know what I mean? Why?
Unbelievable.
Why?
People in first class are like, what the fuck is this gigantic?
Is this gigantic waterproof?
Is this like a military thing where like the guy just gets to put his
Maybe that's why they don't fuck with me because they think that I'm in the military.
I think they might actually think that about
They do,
you.
because I got that a lot in Germany. This Turkish hooker was like, are you in the military? And I was like, no. She's like, and then she was like, really? And I was like, yes.
Well, you know, Germany's like it's got a ton of American military people.
I know.
Yeah.
Dude, and even in France, south of France, they were like, are you U.S. military? I was like, no. So don't think you're going to get me for stolen valor.
Oh, okay. Good for you. I mean,
I always say no.
I would have thought about it.
I always say no and get offended. I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I like this 18th century French symbolist poetry.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a jarhead, dude.
No, I'm not a soldier. I'm in the CIA.
I will kick your ass.
There's a red dot on your head right now.
Right.
So you need to make this a free hooker spot.
I am a jiu-jitsu practitioner who's well armed, but I am not in the military.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
and then you say, if you know what I mean, wink, wink.
Yes.
And then you just give mouth CIA.
I mouth GAY. Because that's the only human contact I get nowadays is rolling on the mats with my boys. You know what I mean? I can tell why the Greeks turned gay. They're like at war for a long time, wrestling around with their bros.
Yeah.
Someone's dick ends up in someone's mouth, whatever, dude.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, as long as they're clean shaven, whatever.
Yeah.
Or the beard is soft if they use beard oil. You know what I mean? But like, so I'm on the plane, right? I'm one of the first ones. So I'm eyeing everybody on the plane. Everybody that gets on, and I'm clocking people I'm like, okay, that's a potential threat.
Yeah.
This one can potentially help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any big white dude with a camo hat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's wearing square-toed boots, I'm giving him the tap and he's coming with me. You know what I mean?
It's like a United 93 sort of thing. It's
Exactly.
like, I'm getting together the warriors.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude. You see some corn-fed motherfucker from Iowa, you tap him, he's game, dude.
I remember watching United 93 alone as like a teenager and just like almost breaking the chair I was sitting in, going, "Yes, get him!" Because it's just one of those situations. But go on.
So then I'm clocking everybody. So I got my team together. I got my starting 5, right? I got the guys that I know are going to help me out, and I got the guys that we potentially need to take. And when we all sit down, I turn around and I give them nods. You know what I mean? I let them know that I know that they know what might happen if it happens, right? And that fixed it.
Yeah, I know. That's really helpful, right?
And so then, so once I gather my team, then I'm just, making quick looks at the guys that I think are suspicious.
Yeah.
Which is usually a few people every time. Every time I fly. And it's not always the people that you think it might be.
No.
You know what I mean?
Give us an unexpected pick.
An unexpected pick? It's hard to say.
You really have to see them to get this image.
I do.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a white dude,
Yeah. Sometimes it's a white dude who seems like he has some kind of weird, like, Air Force One type of, thing where he's just gonna pop out with 6 other guys and just try to kill everybody on the plane or hold them hostage.
Or alternatively, sometimes it's a white dude that looks Russian.
Yeah.
And I go, oh,
that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be literally anyone.
Now let's go through the possibility.
And it's even, and I won't fall asleep if I'm
at all
near the exit row.
Why?
Because I'll start because if I'm near the exit row and I'm reminded that the door can be opened, then the spectrum broadens. Because then I'm like, one guy just might be too high like me and be like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just me with a neck pillow in the back. You're like, I'm going to use that neck pillow to strangle him.
Dude, literally, if he gets up, I'm going to fucking Kimura this guy. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's just propose a hypothesis. So there's a trans woman who's gigantic, who's taller than you, more muscle mass and everything.
Okay.
Her mission is to try and progress trans rights and fight against Trump by flying the plane into, I don't know, Joe Rogan's house.
Right.
So you see this.
Greenpeace people too.
Yeah, Greenpeace people. Everybody's trying to just fly this into Joe Rogan's house, even though it's kind of not public where he lives.
Right.
So you're catching all these. You're catching all these suspicious vibes from this trans woman and the green people.
Wait, where am I flying out of?
You're flying out of, I don't know, let's say New York, right? New York could have those. No, LA. It's an LA thing because only or Miami, because then you get
Miami's perfect because then I get my big Cuban guys. You know what I mean? Get the big Trump yeah, dude, about 5'11", 250 with a big Cuban link chain on. I go, right. This guy's not gonna fuck around.
So you start throwing out like some Scarface quotes.
Start throwing out the looks.
Yeah, you throwing out the looks. You're like, hey, look over there.
Literally,
over there.
I start eye contact with them. Slowly move to the other person. Now, that starts freaking them out too.
Now the gigantic trans ringleader makes her move.
Right.
She starts giving the evil guy speech to the cabin, and she's positioned. Where would be the worst place for her to be positioned?
Next to the door.
And she's gonna open the door. She doesn't have a gun or anything. She's just like, I'm crazy.
Yeah, she's just gonna.
My name is Heather Swanson. And I'm going to open this door. If anyone says the wrong pronouns or stops me from running this plane into Joe Rogan's house.
Yeah.
And I will crush any woman who gets in my way.
Right.
Now, you need to get to the exit row without letting her know, giving her advance notice to open that door. And you also need to use an appropriate jiu-jitsu move. You've already let the Cuban guys know. They're already taking off all their fucking chains and shit. They're getting ready. Right. Now, you need to make the move.
Is the cart lady in the aisle?
Cart lady has parked the cart in the back. So if you're going to use that, you got to sneak to the back first.
Well, that's what I would do.
Okay.
I would sneak to the back, nod to the Cuban guys. Go grab a bottle of wine, multiple bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And this might work and it might not, but this is a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Fucking Tom Brady football, throw it at her head. And then
wait. The wine, right?
The wine bottles. Yes. And then do a flying armbar over the seats to subdue her.
Yes, okay, but what about the cart? Where's the cart going? Oh, you're just getting the wine bottle.
I'm just getting the wine bottle, not using the cart. The cart is dangerous.
The cart could push out the window.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, the door, okay, here's the thing about the door. She has to pull the lever to get it open.
That's why you got to throw the wine bottles to distract her.
Well, I think you also say some different pronouns. I feel like that would really throw her off. Or do you think that would make her go straight for the door?
That would make her go straight for the door. She has a modus operandi.
Yeah. She stated her terms.
She's like, this is exactly why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's also because I can't swim high school women's. I can't do high school women's swimming anymore. Even
now
though
our
I'm 38.
Our mulatto friend is not gonna.
Oh no!
He's gonna be super pissed. No,
not our one fan.
He's gonna be super pissed.
Dude, we should just get his notes and just do this show for him. I'm not even joking on that. I like his feedback.
We're gonna do the show for you.
Yeah. All right, let's change it up.
You know what? I'm coming down the aisle and I'm opening that door for her.
Yeah.
Just in solidarity.
Look, they're not saying the wrong pronouns, but they're thinking it.
In solidarity.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, wouldn't it be better to run it in a Joe Rogan's place, though? Like, that would be more of her goal. Honestly, her goal is pretty nebulous in this example.
She's so big that she's just hoping that she falls through the roof. You know what I mean?
So, okay, so let's switch up the villain, right? So the villain is your classic Middle Eastern terror cell. Right? They're Chechens, right? So they're a little bit of like the most dangerous.
Those guys are sketchy, dude.
They're Russian and Muslim, so double villain. And they're like good shape, but not crazy, monsters. And they have box cutters. Now, you need to coordinate with the Cubans, I would say.
Dude, this one is easy because once they get up, guys with beards without mustaches, once they get up, even move a little bit, even in the bathroom. The Cuban guys and I are already standing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're already up. So, then it's just a fight in the middle, dude.
Yeah. Then it's just kind of free for all.
Then it's just whoever made the best man win.
Yeah. Are you doing a Gamora every time? Is that the first move you learned, or?
For these guys?
For these guys, yeah. For these guys with the box cutter.
I envision just running down the lane and using my rugby background to just tackle this guy as hard as I possibly can, and then just gouging his eyes out.
So here's what I think. Also, one thing I heard about the gouging eyes out, I can't remember where I heard it, but basically, I think it was in Reacher, which, who cares? Eyes are much more robust than people think. They're not as squishy and like poppable as you think. So you could just do that for a long time, and it gives them such a big chance to fight back against you.
That's fine because I will already have dismantled his offensive capabilities with my jiu-jitsu skill. Using my free hand to then gouge his eyes out for minutes at a time, scaring his cronies to sit the fuck back down.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this guy...
I feel like they'd attack you, and you need your Cuban boys to get you. Yeah,
well, if they try... if they try, the Cuban guys are there.
Yeah, Cuban
and
guys
guess
are
what?
there.
They have the beer that they've been drinking, and they're going to swing it like baseball bats.
Ah,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha. So, none of the beer, it's all in cans, right?
Okay, so they're going to take the wine. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I got faith in these guys.
Yeah, I got faith in these guys, too. I like them. So
in really tight pants and tight shirts and overweight, dude, they can swing.
I want to do one more example because I have a hypothesis I need to test. So... who else could be okay, now we're going for the movie villain, guys in suits or business wear that are totally unsuspecting, but they've been giving shifty looks throughout the plane the whole time. And so you got your Cuban boys, but these guys...
I would have already clocked them.
Yeah.
Anybody that dresses like Ocean's 11 that's
exactly.
flying in fucking economy, I'm already sketched out.
Yeah, I feel like they have some sort of elaborate fail-safe. So they have a bomb on the plane, and they're gonna blow up the plane if we don't get to drive it into who would they have a problem with? I don't know. Something. No, they need to land it, and they need to have us hold us hostage, and
then they're gonna like go to the Virgin Islands or something.
Yeah, exactly. But they need the money first, so they need to like whatever. They're in communication. That's not the point. The point is they've got a failsafe, and you got to keep their hand off of like the cell phone to call the number. So now they don't have weapons, but one of them, and you know which one of them because he's held it up to show the whole cabin. He has the detonator. Now, you got to be the guy to go get him. How do you direct your Cuban boys, if at all, differently in this one, or do you go after this all yourself and try to cut the head off the snake?
I get up in the middle of the aisle, say, "Hermanos, tranquilo." They relax, and I immediately drop my pants and start helicoptering my dick and go, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And hopefully that would make him drop it. Be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, you take someone else's drink and you stick it in your ass.
The little shooter bottle?
Yeah,
what do you want to do?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What do you want to do?
Can I join? Can I join your thing?
Let me join the thing.
Yeah, I want money.
Why can't I join the thing?
You need a wild card.
Well, let me join the thing. I want to join the thing.
So here's my thing. So the hypothesis I was trying to test
Start pouring it in my eyes.
Are you actually going to need jiu-jitsu for any of these situations?
Absolutely, because then when I go attack him, I'm going to break all of his limbs. Every single one.
Wait, but now you need the Cuban guys because once you start attacking him, the other suit Ocean's 11 guys, they're going to have a problem.
Yeah, the Cuban guys will be there.
Cuban guys.
Yeah.
Cuban guys. They're choking.
And
with
God forbid there's some Brazilian guys on there because then we'll be having 5-on-5 jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah.
And then the cops are going to have to carry these guys out like cripples. You know what I mean? Without a wheelchair.
We should write a TV show where every episode it just takes place in the cabin of a plane. That's the only set we get.
How can we use Jiu-Jitsu in this? How can Jiu-Jitsu be used here?
Every episode you're flying on a plane because, I don't know, you got too much money and too much time on your hands. Yeah. And then you just constantly, you're not an air
marshal. A flight attendant.
Yeah, I get free flights.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one where you confuse the guy, you just have your boyfriend come up and you're like, "Jeffrey, get over here." You pull down your pants, and you're like, he's this little twink, and he's fucking you. And you're like, "See? Doesn't this confuse you?
You like that?
Don't you think it should be the other way around?"
No, I sort of pull it out and I shit on the ground. And I go, "Yeah, you really want to wait for the money now?"
Yeah.
Just shit all over the ground.
Tell the Cuban guys cabin. This is a time situation.
I'll tell the Cuban guys to shit on the ground.
Yeah.
They eat a lot of beans and pork.
Dude, they got some peppers and shit. Dude, that will stop any terrorism thing. Because it'll just be like, we need to land this plane now.
I'll just get in doggy style position as if I'm the receiver, open my ass cheeks and blow.
Yeah, just rocking it out. Man? Just become a human cannon. A shit cannon. Are we back in our viewers demo now? With that one?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell us what you think, Mulatto. You know what I'm saying?
Nick Mulatto. That'd be the version of Nick Mullen, but he's he's black. Okay. Well, I mean, they kind of so. We both have separate. The lights are completely off. Every time we do this fucking podcast, we always do it today, and we do it at night, and we never turn on any lights. Maybe we use the lamp.
It's not plugged in.
It's not the lamp for the desk. Is not plugged in.
It's an ornamental piece.
I mean, it is nice to just let it get dark and kind of that is a nice vibe. However, we have notes we'd like to look at. I don't know, Reddit?
Bobby Jacks my today.
Oh my God, and fuck Reddit.
I've been telling Bobby Jacks about how I'm going to fuck him up.
Why?
I call him every day and I say, I'm going to beat your ass because I'm a jiu-jitsu practitioner.
You won't have him on the podcast, but you'll say that to him?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Absolutely, because he has such an inflated ego that he just tells me.
He has an inflated ego.
Hold on, that he tells me these crazy things, right? Tells me all these crazy things. He's like, You're really fucking pissing me off. He's like, this is over with. Like, so like he started doing jiu-jitsu now too. And then I was like, that's really cool. Good for you. Like, I want you to like have some confidence when I'm in it, when I have you in a position that you can't get out of, and I'm nibbling on your ear telling you how much of a bitch you are. And there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? No amount of, oh, I'm crazy. Or he quoted Bane today. He was like, you live in the dark. I was born in the dark. I was like, you think that's scary? Yeah. You little shit. I was like, I'm going to fuck you up. So like, he's very serious about fighting me when he comes home. And I'm going to fuck this guy up.
Can I be around for this? I'll
absolutely
bets.
Last time he was so mad that I was dating my girlfriend that he brought brass knuckles to play basketball with me and pulled them out of his backpack. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, this is a deterrent. He's like, you're a big guy and this is a deterrent. Okay. I don't want to have to fuck you up. You're my brother.
Is the reason he was mad about the girlfriend, is it because she was taking you away from him?
That's what I said. And he was like, no, it was mainly because of her political beliefs.
Nice.
Bobby Jax
is a hero? You're saying?
He's very, very...
He works in DC.
Set in his ways.
Okay.
Let's just say that.
Yeah. Dude, I want to talk to this guy so much more. The problem is I am worried he's going to destroy me mentally.
He will.
Because everything I've heard, it sounds like there's absolutely no limit to which he will not go to win one of these fights. Like, I take the last of something at a restaurant. He will, it sounds like he will take my darkest parts of me and use them in a way that just makes me feel like nothing.
He will. And then they'll start showing you photos. He won't even talk. He'll just show you the photo and you'll be like, oh my God, he's calling me a big fat pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is
You should have seen him at Ike's house. Yeah. At Ike's house, he just walks in. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about anything. He walks in with his dog. Ike hates dogs.
No way.
And he's got a little like Dotson, and Ike's cat is like playing, and he's telling his dog, he's like, Leo, you gotta stand up for yourself, bud. He's like, what the fuck? Because like the dog's all scaring him. He's like, you gotta stand up for yourself. And the dog's barking, and Ike's like, dude, the fucking dog. And then he's like, oh, Beast. He's like one of the boys. And he's like, don't put the dog on the white couch. And Bobby Jax like, Bobby Jax is all like, Beast, that's all good. Like, and Ike's just sitting there fuming. You know what I mean? Fuming. Yeah. And then like in the morning.
I love this. I would pay to see this.
And in the morning, Bobby Jax just goes in and like takes a banana without asking from the kitchen.
God. He stayed over?
Yeah, one time. And then Ike for like a year later is still like, this fucking guy thinks he can come into my house and take a fucking banana.
It's so funny.
And Bobby Jax is just so unbothered. He's like, Beast, like you gotta like toughen up a little bit, Beast.
And Bobby's aware of how this comes out. He's not like ignorant of that.
No.
Oh, that's
Bobby
beautiful.
Jax knows exactly what he's doing. He's playing the fool on purpose.
Will he listen to this? Can he be fan number 2? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe we don't want him
to. He's
so
busy.
Okay.
He's so busy.
See, I gotta hear more about him off the pod. Okay, so Bobby Jax. It's like the way I wanna try to play mental jiu-jitsu with him. It's like
don't steal valor, bro. You're not on the fucking mask.
Because I don't pay, I don't know, like $50 a session. I don't get it.
It's less than that, but yeah. Pay by month.
All right. Well, no, but it's like you wanting to fight Gracie, right?
Who's Gracie?
I don't know if you want to. Whatever the guy, the best jiu-jitsu practitioner
the family,
of all time. I like that we've just created practitioner as the. It's not jiu-jitsu match.
No, it's jiu-jitsu practitioner, which I am one of. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a very elite club.
A nebulous rank within the jiu-jitsu class.
Right.
Okay, so
this means you're on the path to glory.
But it's like me wanting to fight that guy, like the Grandmaster.
Me fighting Bobby Jax?
No. What I'm saying is mentally, in terms of like mind fucking.
Okay, yeah. Good that you didn't say that, because otherwise Bobby Jax would be at your throat.
What do you mean?
If
I said what?
If you were like, I'm the Gracie guy in this situation.
No.
Yeah, then.
No. I'm super nice.
We have to make that clear. Bobby Jax, Morgan does not want a problem with you.
Dude,
okay?
I don't.
You leave him out of this.
I'm so fascinated by your ability to do this that I want to try and test it.
He wants
However, it's in the same way that like I wonder what it would like. I wonder what it'd be like to just like jump in front of like a moving train, like real close, not get hit by it, but just tempt fate like
you almost just did that. You know what I mean? You tempted fate.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know if this fully satisfies my urge, but yeah, I guess.
You're getting closer.
I'm getting closer. Bud.
You just took a Percocet and you're on the way to fucking intravenous.
Remember?
You know what I mean?
Remember the nanny / dog whisperer episode of South Park?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm the nanny who ends up, being in an insane asylum, just eating my own shit viciously.
That's what that one guy that we did this to probably is doing. And Bimbo, I was in the desert. Bimbo was all, man, why'd you do that? That's so fucked up. I was like, because this guy's a fucking dick, Bimbo.
Bimbo, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Bimbo, you are right to question that.
We are happy that his father's dead. Okay?
Oh, my
God.
God
forbid.
All right. Well, I mean, we got only a few minutes left. What should we sign off on? I mean, we got Jiu-Jitsu playing story. We got,
I don't know.
I'll talk about the Holocaust class.
I really have to go poo, so sure.
Very, all right. Well, Holocaust class, so we were talking about like all the, dope performative woke shit. And I was in this class, it was about the second half of the Holocaust, which is really where the action happens. And there was this teacher who was like one of the leaders in the country in terms of like knowledge on the Holocaust.
Oh, you told me this.
Yeah, I told you this.
Yeah.
And he had been passed down, expertise by like the number one, scholar in the first place of studying the Holocaust. So this guy has a guest speaker in who is one of the last Holocaust survivors, and she's this real sweet old lady, and she talks about just harrowing details of being in the ghetto. And, hiding jewels in the head of a doll and,
in
just
her
all
anus.
this. No, not in her anus. She was a child. We don't play with that, YouTube. We probably will.
Why?
Later.
YouTube likes that.
So, yeah, they actually do. I'm sure they do. But she talks just about, her whole, seeing dead kids on the way to, the ghetto school, right? Because the food is so limited, you have to basically sell those jewels in the doll head to get extra food. And her family gets out because of those jewels. She's the first one, she's the youngest, and then over and over. But her dad does not. She never hears from her dad again. Horrifying. That's just all this is to say that she just said something that was really meaningful and horrifying. She was weirdly unaffected by it too. Or numb to it. The teacher, right after she stops speaking, he says, in this whole ghetto, this whole experience of the Warsaw Ghetto, this is what all the Mexicans are feeling like right now because of Trump's internment camps. This is exactly the same thing. And she looked back at him with that was the most emotion she showed the whole time. She looked back at him like, I hate you. And I wish you could experience this.
The internment camps that Obama started, by the way.
Yes. I mean, and Biden continued. I mean, I don't know. That just...
Which aren't really internment camps.
No, they're not. There are... the separation is in the same way you get separated from your family if you commit a crime here.
If you go to jail.
Yeah.
Okay, again, Mulatto's not going to like this.
Ah, fuck. All right, well, I had that one.
He's going to be like, it's way different.
We had very little notes, very few notes on this one. Well, no, he would say it's different than he's on our side. That's the thing.
No,
that's what he would agree with that.
He would... I don't know. He would find some way to be like...
He would find some way to take issue.
Now he's gonna fucking text me 400 times.
Perfect.
About how I'm on the wrong side on this shit.
Mission accomplished.
You know what? I'm sorry. I don't watch CNN as much as you. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. I'm ignorant. I'm just trying to make people laugh. I don't care.
That's the point of it.
Is it fucked up to say that I don't care about issues?
No.
I don't care. No, it is.
That used to be okay.
I said that to my ex-girlfriend and she goes, that's easy for you.
And you're like, yeah.
Because your womb isn't under attack. I said, exactly.
Well, neither is yours.
Then she's like, you're a bad person. And I was like, fine.
Yeah.
Just stop bothering me, please.
Yeah.
Let me live my life.
No, I don't know, man. We can't get into that one too much more because our only fan is not going to like it.
Our OnlyFans, yeah. So we rescinded everything that we say. We do think that the border crisis is just as bad as the Holocaust.
Yes, the border crisis.
Because and you know what? When we get sponsors, we're going to totally flip because we know who's going to be sponsoring.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, Kamala Harris should have been president. She also should have had like 4 terms.
Israel, send us some money.
Yeah. Now, Israel, you should actually have to pay all the money back that we've ever paid you because you made some bad decisions.
No, I don't think that. I'm telling them to pay us personally.
Oh,
we will be shills for you.
Oh, well, that one is like a little easier to do.
Please pay.
That one I feel like I could talk with more verve about.
My last name isn't Steen. Please pay us.
Yeah.
Please.
He's
Berg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Please.
We're
called the Steen Bears.
Yeah.
You know
the Steen Bears. The Steenberg Bears.
The
That's actually
Bears.
what they were called. It's just, the Mandela effect, the Mandela syndrome.
Good night.
Good night and good luck.
Love you, OnlyFan.